And it's wet. We knew it was going to get wet. There's no doubt that it was going to get wet. It was a matter of when it's going to get wet. AGM, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, on this job today, we're dredging this pond a little bit, cleaning up the edges. We're going to load up the slop and mud and garbage in the back of our dump truck, and we're going to move it all the way to the back behind that barn. The property owner has like a pretty steep hill back there that he wants to mellow out so he can plant grass and mow it. So we're digging most of the material to level that area out from right here. We have a nice paint mark for how we're going to dig this out a little bit. So we're going to make the pond bigger and soften the slope behind that barn a little bit. As of right now, it's probably 36 degrees and it is November 1st. So it's a bit chilly for this stuff, but we're still out here, at least for a little while longer, until it gets ridiculously too cold to do this kind of stuff. So we're gonna get after it. Alright. Well, those guys went to go grab some lunch, so I was going to take over in the machine for a little while and keep moving on with what Gary was working on. So we're just going to keep cleaning up the edge of this pond for a little while. Alright, so we got most of this bank cleaned up, and we're going to actually create a land bridge in between, and we're going to dig another new pond on the other side of the excavator that's a little bit smaller, and then the land or property owner wants to put in a wooden bridge on the land bridge, so it'll be two halves of land and then with a wooden bridge in the middle, and then that'll be connected to the two ponds. So we're going to dig ourselves a nice rough edge for a land bridge, and then we're going to dig the edge of the pond And then we're going to start hauling all that material out and putting it behind the barn. And then that should be pretty much the rest of the day.
Like it's misleading because it slopes down. Yeah, this is way higher than that overflow. But 5 feet on that overflow down there isn't that much. And there's 5 feet, 3 feet. When I was in there before he started taking it down, it was probably at the height like right over here. And he was only 2'8". He was down like 7 inches from the top of the overflow. Still got some dirt to move out of there. Shale, I should say.
All right, well, it's about the end of the day, and this is about how far we got. And we'll pick it up again tomorrow. All right, we're back at the pond job, and it is about 8 a.m. and 24 degrees, so kind of dealing with a little bit of frost at the moment, but working on this land bridge. We're going to get it cleaned up before we go ahead and dig the rest of this pond out this morning. All right, we got this little piece dug out so the landowner can put in a small bridge for aesthetic purposes, and we're currently working on finishing the second pond. Luckily we got a lot of good clay in here. There's some shale, there's a shelf of shale that runs right through here, but it is surrounded by a lot of really good clay, so it should hold water just fine. And then once this pond gets filled up to its overflow, this should fill in with, about a foot of water. So it'll give the illusion that it's, one full piece, but it'll actually be a little short. So we're gonna keep after it.
Good time to start tying your boots?
Yes.
All right, we're getting pretty close to the end here. Got the grade of the bottom of the pond at 5 feet below the overflow, and we're just cleaning up this last piece over here. Got all the material dumped way back there behind that barn. All right, the pond job's going great. Our resident excavator operator, Gary, what do you have to say?
Get that the fuck out of my cab. Get off my track.
Goddamn truck.
I can't wait to pull the audio off of that.
I've been talking to myself the whole time. That.
All right, well, we're loading out some slop from yesterday that hopefully dried out a little bit, so when we unload it, it won't be such a pain. But we got the pond dug. We're gonna just need a little bit of dress up around the edges and pack her in, and that'll be that. And this is all the material we removed for the second pond. We're just gonna pull some of this, level it out a bit, fill in back here to give it a nice grade, and that's job done. All right, well, here's the finished product of the addition to the pond. It's just a matter of time for the water to come in from all the natural sources around this area and for that pond to fill back up and flood into this one. But the owner wanted to wait until it did it on its own. He didn't want to force it. He wanted to let it fill slowly from rain and snow and thaws and whatnot. But this is the finished pond, and then we just got a little bit of material to move around back behind the barn, and that's job done.